Hello guys, welcome your channel Study How. Not my channel, your channel Study How. So today I will start the fourth part of the gravitation, that is the thrust and pressure and flotations, buoyancy. After completing this topic, you will be able to give some answers. If you ask some questions at first, what is the reason of the wide, the large tires in case of heavy vehicles, and in case of cycles, scooters, motorcycles, cars, the different width of the tire? Why? What is the there is the in case of the foundation of the dam, in the bridge, wide range of the foundation will done. Why? In case of railway tracks, what you learn? Rail lines, wide range of the wooden planks are there, chips are there, stone chips are there. Why? What is the reason? Do you know? If you run on the sand, can you run fast? Cannot. But camel run fast. Why? If you cutting an apple or any fruits or any things by a sharp knife, the blunt part of the knife, can you cut it? Not. A nail can be inserted in the wall with the pointed surface, not in the blunt surface. You cannot put it in the wall. Why? All these things. So many things are there. So you can give the answers, all these things in after completing this topic. So let's start. What is thrust? What is thrust? What do you know? A body always exerts force on the surface while touching it. Exerts force equal to its area. Okay? What is the concept of thrust? The thrust is nothing. And to have a clear concept of thrust, you should have to know the hydrostatics, that is the hydrostatic, that is the liquid and fluid chapters. What is thrust? I know. Thrust is nothing but the total force exerted by the body perpendicular to the surface is known as thrust. Total force exerted by body perpendicular to the surface is known as thrust. It is a vector quantity and its unit is Newton. That is the force. Then unit क्या होगा? Newton. Suppose a block is out here. A block. This is wooden block. It is wooden block. What is the thrust? That is the weight of the block. Thrust equals to weight of the block. That is the m into g. Okay. The total force exerted by the body perpendicular to the surface is known as thrust. Okay, that is the thrust. And what is pressure? Pressure, in case of pressure, to understand the concept of pressure, you should have to know what I told you earlier. In the sand, if I stand on a surface of a sand, what is the pressure? And there is a depth inside. Our leg will go inside a little bit. If we lie down on the sand, what will happen? If you wear a heel shoe and stand on the surface of sand, what happens? You have seen. Besides all these things, a sharp knife, besides if you cut a thing with a sharp edge of the knife, we cannot use the blunt. And case of tires, so many vehicles, the shape of the tires, the length of the tires is the width small. Why? What is the case? What we know? The thrust exerted per unit area is known as pressure. That is, what is pressure? Pressure is the nothing. Pressure equals to force by area. That is thrust by area. Okay, force by area or thrust by area. Clear? Thrust by area. That is P equals to F by A. P equals to what? F by A. This is the main reason. Area, that is force inversely inversely proportional to area. Minute. Okay, pressure inversely proportional to area. That force, that is pressure, area बढ़ेगा तो प्रेशर घटेगा, एरिया घटेगा तो प्रेशर बढ़ेगा. That means if anything area, if area is increased, area increase means pressure will be what? This is increase, pressure will be decrease. That means in the in trucks, in high loaded tractors, what you see, the tires, the shape of the tires is as a. In case of cycle, there is small tire. Why? What is the utility of the breadth? Why it is wide? Because its area of contact is large. In that case, pressure will be exerted less. So less pressure will be exerted. So surface will not be down, will not be go beyond. So for that reason, pressure कम करने के लिए हमको एरिया लार्ज करना होगा. In case of damp, যখন আমরা ড্যাম্প construction, we are constructing a dam. In that case, the base of the dam, what is doing, and the area of the dam base is being widened to building a sufficient strength so that it can withstand high pressure. Railway track, we see railway track, there is the wooden plank are there. There is the what we need. Stone chips are there. So the weight of the rail is too high. It creates a pressure, and that pressure has been spreaded everywhere so that this area is being broadened. So area is broadened, so pressure is being lightened. So that the surface, the soil underground should not be যেটা নিচে নেমে না যায়. So to reduce this pressure, there is the wooden plank is there. Okay, so reduce the pressure. So area will be broadened only to reduce the pressure. Okay, if area is lessened, that is in case of sharp knife. In the sharp point, that is area is less. So I have to create just light pressure. लाइट प्रेशर देने से क्या होगा? एरिया कम है, प्रेशर ज़्यादा होगा. मीन्स जस्ट लाइट प्रेशर देने से वो कट जाएगा. लेकिन ब्लंट जो पोजीशन है उसको एरिया थोड़ा ज़्यादा होगा, इसलिए क्या होगा? उसको प्रेशर ज़्यादा देना पड़ेगा. दैट्स वाई इट इज़ वी आर टेकिंग दिस. दिस इज द शार्प एंड. Just this is a sharp end, this is a blunt end. If we use to cut it 6, that means area is less area, less होने से ये ज़्यादा होगा. तो जस्ट टच करने से वो कट जाएगा, लेकिन यहाँ पर कुछ नहीं होगा, एरिया थोड़ा ज़्यादा है. ओके, सो ऑल दिस थिंग्स is depends upon the concept of pressure. The pressure equal force by area. तो फोर्स कम करने के लिए ये हमको क्या होना चाहिए? दिस inversely proportional to area, pressure. Okay. So all these reasons we come into the concept of pressure equals to force by area. इसका यूनिट क्या होगा? पास्कल. ये फोर्स का यूनिट क्या होगा? न्यूटन मीटर स्क्वायर. न्यूटन बाई मीटर स्क्वायर. न्यूटन बाई मीटर स्क्वायर और पास्कल. 1 पास्कल इक्वल्स टू 1 न्यूटन मीटर टू मीटर, न्यूटन पर मीटर स्क्वायर. 1 न्यूटन मीटर to inverse Newton dot meter. Okay. So in this, with this concept we can explain so many things. Suppose you are working with a pencil hill. So in that case what? You kick a person with this pencil hill. You hit, it will be greater force. Yeah. But in the flattened shoe, it will no problem because force is in a pointed. Pointed means high pressure. Clear? Area less होगा तो pressure ज़्यादा होगा. So it will be harmful. So next, now start about the buoyancy. That is the buoyant force. Why? What is the condition of flotation? Why do something floats on water? Why does something sink into the water? What is the reason? Same quantity, same masses, but shape is different. Shape is different. One is sank into the water. One is float on the water. Why? What is the reason? So first see, you have to know what is fluid. Fluid क्या होता है? Fluid is a substance. Fluid is a substance that can flow. That can flow. And it may be gas or liquid. It may be gas or liquid. A substance that can flow is called fluid. It may be gas or liquid. Okay? See a concept. This is the water. Yeah? You put a cork in the water. What you observe? The cork floats on the surface of water. It floats on the surface of water. If you give pressure with your finger, then it will sink. And at that very moment, what you feel? At upward force, you will feel an upward force in your finger. Upward force in your finger. Okay? Upward force in your finger. That means liquid or gas, what you see out here, this liquid exerts pressure. In case of what we learned about the Pascal's law, what we see out here, we have learned in class 8. This is the liquid. What we learned, if you give pressure out there, what we see pressure out there, if there is hole, what will be there? Water is coming out in all direction. Water is coming out in all direction if pressure is given. So, in a gas or liquid, that means it exerts pressure in all direction on the wall of the confine. It is confined wall in all the wall. Confined. It may be this way. The water exerts pressure in all directions and equally distributed in direction of the walls of closed container. And this pressure is proportional to, and pressure will be proportional to the three conditions. One is the depth of the liquid, the depth of the liquids, and also the density of liquids, clear, and also acceleration due to gravity. अर्थ ग्रेविटी, एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, तीनों का ऊपर वो डिपेंड करता है. या दैट इज द एग्जैक्ट फोर्स, द फोर्स एग्जैक्ट करता है, दैट फोर्स इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू द डेप्थ ऑफ द लिक्विड. दैट मीन जितना डेप्थ में जाओगे वो प्रेशर उतना ही होगा. एंड ऑल्सो द डेंसिटी ज़्यादा होगा तो वो जो एग्जर्टिंग फोर्स ज़्यादा होगा. एंड एक्सेलरेशन ड्यू टू ग्रेविटी, वो भी उसका भी ऊपर वो डिपेंड करता है. ओके. एंड ऑल्सो दैट इज द वॉल्यूम एंड साइज, वॉल्यूम ऑफ द साइज ऑफ द ऑब्जेक्ट. ओके. सो here what I am telling, so cork is here, it floats. If we exert pressure what we upon the to the cork and it is sink down, and you also feel at that time you also feel an upward pressure in the finger. Why? This is the upward force, this of thrust, this force, this of thrust, this force is known as the buoyant force, which exerts perpendicular to the opposite directions. And the cork थोड़ा सिंक हुआ क्यों? Acceleration due to gravity, it attracts toward itself, and the direction is this way, and its water also exerts pressures to the cork in the opposite directions. That is known as the buoyant force, and this property is known as the buoyancy of the liquid. And this buoyancy depends upon the density of the liquid, yes, and also the volume of the and shape of the object. So what is buoyancy? Clear? What is buoyant force? Clear? See now, when you will dip, dip in the water, you will also feel that your body is light. हल्का हो गया. क्यों हो गया? Because water exerts pressure on your body. That is the upthrust, which is known as buoyant. That is the buoyant force. It exerts buoyant force. And you also see an example that what is the mass of the cork and mass of the ball, iron ball, same mass, but it is in this shape, it is in this shape. Whereas the iron ball is sank in the water, whereas it floats. Why? The density of iron, what I told, density depends upon the density. If density of the iron is high, then the density of the cork. And volume D equals to m by v. D equals to m by v. V equals to this by d. क्लियर? सो इसका डेंसिटी ज़्यादा है. उसका ये जो हॉलो है, खोखला हुआ है, इसके अंदर थोड़ा एयर है, इसलिए उसका वेट कम हो गया. इसका खोखला नहीं है, सॉलिड है, उसके अंदर कोई एयर भरा नहीं हुआ है. दैट इज डेंसिटी हाई, इसलिए वो डूब गया, पानी में डूब गया. ये पानी में फ्लोट होगा. तो कब फ्लोट होगा, कब डूब जाएगा, कब ये होगा, ये भी कंडीशन है. क्या कंडीशन है? व्हेन इट फ्लोट्स, व्हाट इज द कंडीशन ऑफ फ्लोटिंग? तो जो अपथ्रस्ट है, इसको ग्रेविटेशन फोर्स इसको अट्रैक्ट करता है, इसका तो नीचे तरफ. इसका भी वेट है, W इक्वल्स टू m इंटू जी. ये भी है, इसका वेट है, वेट भी है, उसका ग्रेविटी भी है, इसका अलावा इसका अपथ्रस्ट भी है. तीनों कंडीशन है. जब इसका वेट, दैट इज m इंटू जी, मास इंटू ग्रेविटी, दैट इज द वेट. ग्रेविटी का मास मिला के वेट होगा, the mass and g weight. तो जब weight W is greater than the force of buoyant force, तो ये buoyant force जो है ऑफ थ्रस्ट जो है ये ज़्यादा होगा तो वो सिंक हो जाएगा, ऐसे तरह वो डूब जाएगा। जब W लेस देन F, दैट इज F ग्रेटर देन W, in that case it floats on the surface of the water. Clear? And if it is equal, that is at a surface, it floats on the surface of the water. In the surface and the water it floats. Are equal, W equals to F, then what will happen? Half sink, half floats. Clear? The condition of floating. Why do float? It floats. That means density जब higher होगा पानी का, इससे ये फ्लोट होगा, यह कंडीशन है। डेंसिटी जब ज़्यादा होगा इसका वाटर से, ये डूब जाएगा। इसका डेंसिटी ज़्यादा वाटर से डूब जाएगा। डेंसिटी ज़्यादा है इसका वाटर से, लिक्विड से, जो लिक्विड में डूबेगा। तो इसको डेंसिटी डिपेंड अपॉन द डेंसिटी, वेदर इट फ्लोट्स और sink. This is some of the concept. Beside this also you have to come to the concept of area also. That is volume. That means ये जो नेल है, ये आएगा नेक्स्ट कंसेप्ट में। ये जो नेल है ये डूब गया, इसका एरिया, इफ यू कैन, दिस नेल कैन बी शेप्ड in this way, this nail can be shaped by hitting, by hammering, and after that if you place in the water it will not sink. Why? Clear? Why? It will be discussed in the next discussion. That is the Archimedes law. Archimedes law. Clear? I am discussing. Within a short, I will complete it. No, it will be the next video. Okay. So it will be next. देखो ये आयरन नेल, ये आयरन कंटेनर, it will sink. उससे ज़्यादा मास है किसका? ये आयरन शिप का, स्टील शिप का। वो शिप क्यों नहीं सिंक हो जाएगा, क्यों नहीं डूबेगा? उसके अंदर ज़्यादा सब्सटेंस है, मटेरियल है, मैन भी है, वो ऐसे ही पानी से फ्लोट होगा, वो नहीं डूबेगा। लेकिन उससे कम वेट वाला जो निरेट जो सॉलिड जेल आयरन है वो डूब जाएगा। क्यों होगा? इसका एक्सप्लेनेशन हम नेक्स्ट वीडियो में देगा। सो हियर what is buoyancy, what is buoyant force, what is the upthrust, what is thrust and pressure, what is its utilities and applications of this, what is the condition of floating, in which factors does floating depends, I have discussed out here, and so many numericals will be discussed at the last of the classes step by step. So now I draw my ends. Thank you. So please don't forget to share it and subscribe it. Please subscribe and share it for your beneficial, for my beneficial also. Thank you, my son. Thank you. Goodbye.